Okay guys, so let's start to refine this blocking out that we have made, and we can start by refining the shape of the pectoralis major. Remember that it should look kind of a pentagon. And notice that the ribcage should look always with this nice curvature. Even from the bottom view like that, you should be able to find this curvature, you know, so not too much squared. Maybe you can think like in those angles like this if we make a planification. Okay, pay attention for the volumes of the pectoralis major. I won't smooth right now because it will be easier for you to understand the volumes that I'm putting here, right? Remember, first find once again the clavicle. So you can even add very subtle the clavicle again, just to better find yourself over here. So I'm adding the clavicle shape once again, and then I will start by adding pectoralis major info above the clavicular portion. Then I'm gonna create that fossa between the clavicular portion and the deltoids, the anterior deltoid, and then by the end of the anterior I can create a pinch like that, a depression, and then I can start by adding the lateral head for the deltoids. And then I can correct the shape for the trapezius that I remember that is the last portion here of the clavicle. It will be the location for the trapezius muscle. Then I can mark the acromion region that will create a nice breaking point, a nice landmark, you know, on the silhouette. And if I smooth the trapezius, I'm gonna have to have a line, you know, by separating the trapezius from the rest of the neck, just like that. And then here I can have the volume for the serratus. And actually, let's correct this. You can even go over here and with the standard brush add more volume for the shoulder blades, and then we can start to refine a little bit the trapezius shape by adding the clay build-up volume with the clay build-up brush, following the fiber's direction. Here we can create that diamond shape and add that vertebra, 7 vertebra. Here is missing some infraspinatus volume, and actually maybe this is too big. Yeah, better right now. And the rib cage and then the obliques, let's start to refine this. Pay attention for the obliques to not leave it too much volume like that. It's better to have a flat silhouette, just as I'm looking here, you know. And here we can add more volume for the rib cage. Here, if we start to smooth some parts, we're gonna be able to better view the angles. One thing that is quite nice to find is the continuity of these gesture lines, you know, from the acromion, the trapezius, you can find this gesture line, you know. From all the views you can find this, you know. Look, and also from the front view you can also find this continuity. Okay, then here let's add a little bit more volume, like that. Here, if we find the end of the shoulder blades, we can create kind of a triangle over here, you know, that will be maybe be able to find to see the rhomboids, but you know, like here we are not able to see the rhomboids. Yeah, those, yeah, this one. Here we have the scapula, shoulder blades, and this little triangle that is supposed to be that medial portion, that fossa, you know, that hole that we have nothing, because here we're gonna have the latissimus dorsi, and here the teres major, infraspinatus, and trapezius. So this part will be empty, just like with the rhomboids appearing to this, but behind the trapezius. In order to make this serratus, one thing that we can you can think is the serratus will be more in a horizontal shape. Let me show you on some reference, like this one. The serratus will be those over here that will be more in a horizontal or just very subtle diagonal shape, and I mean the lines, and the obliques will be more in a vertical and diagonal shape. Okay, so the obliques will be more, oops, like this kind of lines. We're gonna have 3 or 4 appearing, you know, 3 or 4, and then for the obliques it will be more diagonal or vertical shape. So we can make like this. Okay, and in the middle, just in the middle, we're gonna make those zigzag. So in order to make this zigzag, let me first create, you know, this horizontal lines. Imagine the origin of those muscles will be just in the back of the scapula over here and go over each rib. So you can think like on that way, you know. So with them standard brush, I start by adding those separations like that, and then I go over here and I can create the obliques fibers like that. And then just here, I actually could raise up a little bit my Dynamesh resolution. So let's use this. I think will be okay. And then I just need to continue that line until it reaches the other in a vertical. So this way we can have the interdigitations of the serratus. But notice that if we have the pectoralis major over here, notice that shape for the pectoralis major, then we're gonna have this interdigitation like that. But be careful to not over push the them standard strokes. It's very subtle and create kind of a cylinder shape into this serratus volume. So this is more round shape and this is more flat shape for the obliques. Okay, and this way it's gonna create that nice zigzag that are called the interdigitations between both the serratus anterior and the obliques. And then here we're gonna have the latissimus dorsi covering everything. All right. Yeah, let me pause and wait the quick save. Good. So continuing here, I can add just a little very subtle line by separating those shapes of the serratus anterior, right? Maybe these are too strong. Very subtle, and being careful to not make this part too round. This is supposed to be more flat. I like to work with clay buildup in a very, very low intensity. And then I can continue this volume very subtle, like that. Now refining this oblique shape. Filling those empty holes like that. And now for the proportion, I can raise up this a little bit, because you can think like this distance for the external bone should be almost the same for this distance to the last rib, so we have to remove a little bit of volume here, and then kind of the same until the aces bone, and then until the pubis bone. Okay, and the same for the clavicle shape, so we can manage the proportions a little bit more over here. You can find this golden number of proportion right over here. External bone, the clavicle, the head, top of head from the base of nose to the external. So in the external, the distance for the last rib, and then the aces over here, and until the pubis. So you can find it. Let's make it green. We're gonna have this distance, the same of this one, the same of this one, and this one, and this one. Pubis bone is just this region over here. Okay, so this way is easier to better manage the proportions of the torso.